We're not going to the racetrack, to battle a top 5. We're going to battle a top 2 because second's the first loser. It's all out. You let it all hang out. Appreciate it. I can go do it and nothing's stopping me. My name is Mitch Thomas and I am from Oakland, Maryland. My dad actually raced back in the 90s and a lot of racing's changed since, and I always pick on him, racing's not the same. And he took a step away from it. He gave me my opportunity to take it where I thought I needed to take it, and I truly love it. It's what I want to do for a living. And I started in Mini Wedges when I was 6 years old, and I ran them for a couple years, and I was like, Dad, we need to go faster. He put me in a UMP modified when I was 10 years old, and we went to our local dirt track, and he always just made me tag the tail, and then it didn't take long where I had stuff figured out where I could compete and just try to take it as far as I could take it from there. We usually try to race anywhere from 35 to 45 to 50 nights a year. It really all just averages what, the help that I have and the sponsorship to take me to places, because it takes a lot to be at 10 different places. And I would run up to 20 different racetracks, it's just always somewhere different. And that makes a better race car driver out of somebody, I believe. The dirt's different, you're racing with different people. How I got to meet people in dirt track racing, the first person to help me was Dave Groves, and his daughter raced a modified, and my dad bought it off him, and then we didn't know nothing about it. Casey and Scott Bloomquist actually kind of put a car together for me, and a lot of people know the name Scott Bloomquist. That's just not a name that you're going to start with, but Casey bring me into the dirt track world with the modifieds. It helped me get better, and we did a lot of practicing together, and I always looked up to Nick Hoffman. Nick Hoffman, he is the king of dirt modified racing. If you think of a dirt modified race, Nick Hoffman's won it. For sure, I believe he's won just about every modified race in the country. And, Nick was always polite to me, and when I had a question to ask him, he would always answer me. And I went to Nick and I was like, Nick, what do I have to do to get a car? And we just chatted back and forth, and he's like, I'll get you a car. And as soon as I got with Nick Hoffman and Elite Chassis, it completely changed my whole modified dirt program to a complete different level. We went from winning 10 to 12 nights a year, and we'd race 20, to I'm racing 35 to 40 nights a year, and we're winning 27 to 30 nights a year. Like, them are big numbers. We're not going to the racetrack, to battle a top 5. We're going to battle a top 2 because second's the first loser. So you race Volusia 6 nights. You race the fastest 20 cars, then the next set of fastest 20 cars. So the final night, it's all out. You let it all hang out, and you try to get that big Gator. And that big Gator, that's like winning a World 100 in modified racing, honestly. The big Gator is just everyone's goal. How my health affected my racing career was very big, and it opened my eyes that people don't know how lucky they are to just be healthy. Just to be able to get up in the morning and know you can go do whatever you want to do. It's a different perspective of life that you don't realize until something happens to you. And I ended up with blood clots, and I went out to race the Hell Tour. It's my dream. I always wanted to run the Hell Tour, and I didn't feel right. My arms were swelled up, and I was being a normal boy. I'm like, oh, it's all right, we're gonna keep racing. And my dad's like, no, we need to go home. So did some tests, and they come in, they're like, you're full of blood clots. And I was like, I'm full of what? And they was like, you're full of blood clots. And so I was in the hospital for almost a month. They did great work on me and got me going again. And then I was out. I couldn't race for 7 months. It was 6 or 7 months. And, the good Lord above, decided that, I wasn't done. And, he made it happen where I was right back in the race car. And the first night ever back out, I was at the Rudeman race in Florida. It's just a different perspective of, I appreciate it. Before it really wasn't appreciation, it was a thing that we got to go do. But now it's appreciation to be like, I can go do it and nothing's stopping me. I'm healthy enough and I have no worries, and it's just a different life perspective of how I can do it now. How I found out I was a Hoosier hero, I called my dad the day before. I'm like, hey, I gotta be late for work tomorrow because Hoosier wants to have a conference video with me. It's like, okay, and Kenny Wallace popped up. And I was like, Kenny Wallace, what are you doing? And so it was really cool how I found out I was a Hoosier hero.
My friend, today we are telling you that welcome, you are officially a Hoosier hero.
This is awesome. Again, like I say, it's thank all you guys for everything Hoosier does for the dirt racing, and we couldn't do without you guys, honestly.
It's not easy being a Hoosier hero, and it filled me full of pride, and I'm excited that you get to experience that.
To bring me in to be a Hoosier hero means so much to me, just because everything that Hoosiers did for me. I really look up to Hoosier Tire as long as they've been in the business. It means a lot to me for what they've already did for me. I'm excited to be a part of that, to see what else is going to bring to my chapter.